Stop using union all for everything. If you have a big data set and you want a quick summary, dashboard with a summary, and you don't have time or you don't want to build a big query, you don't write a big query, and you don't want to use union all, I got a perfect solution for you. With Group by Rollup and MySQL, we got it going. So let me show you. Remember, this video will be posted, the whole thing will be posted in YouTube, the short summaries in TikTok, and subscribe, like, share, comment, everything, right? Support guys, I appreciate your support. So we got this data, the approval data we've been working on. You can see the previous videos we made. So we got the total as usual, select total, but we want on a yearly basis, but not a yearly basis, 1 year, the program, the term, and the total loan and the approved amount. So let's say program, term, and we're gonna do the count. Count, we're gonna count everything. We're not do any filter, count everything as, let's call it long count. Yeah, long count, good. Then we're gonna say sum. We're gonna sum the approved and decline amount. This is a one column, they got the whole thing together, so we're gonna use it. Approved, decline amount. We're gonna use the backstick as total, let's call it total approved or total approval, whatever. We missed the backstick right here, let's put it back. Where we say 1 year, let's use 1 year. The first year is 2007. We won't use fiscal year 2007. If we want to, we can change it or do a different query later on. Go by program and term. Since we're using aggregate function, so you have to use group by and term, and that's it. So basically we have a breakdown by program, by term, but we want a quick summary. The idea was to have a quick summary, so we use with rollup. What it does, it gives us a like a guarantee program, and then give us a breakdown based on term. So all the variation from program based on term, but for the count and the sum of approved. So this is the quick summary, especially if you have of course this is a example, right? If you have long data, so this is a quick summary. Now we have the null value here. We're going to replace the null value with something else. Let's say Coalesce. We can call it all. Let's call it all. And all. Okay, all. And as program again. Remember, guys, we were just replacing the null. Instead of having null, we give it a name, and that's why we use the Coalesce. And if it was well, say this is my SQL, we can use if no. For this situation, we can use if no. They're not the same, but on this situation we can use it. We could use it, but I prefer not using it. And as term, and then what else we're missing? So we got the sum, the total, oh, we're using backstick. We're using backstick. See, this is very important in MySQL since well, I didn't need backstick for program or because there's no space between them, but I wanted it. So we moved the backstick for all, and that's just it. So you can see the guarantee program. There's a long-term, medium-term loans approval, and there's a total. The Center for Insurance, there's a medium-term, short-term. So this gives us a quick summary. Now remember, this is my SQL. If this was for PostgreSQL, we have to use group by rollup. Group by rollup is PostgreSQL, so that's why we're using group by rollup for SQL. And if this is the same thing, right? The syntax just changed, different syntax. If it was if we don't want to use rollup, we can use cube. The difference between rollup and cube is that rollup give you based on the first one, which is a guarantee, but cube give us everything. Every combination is like everything, like everything. There's no hierarchy data here, so you use guarantee based on term, and then you got term based on guaranteeing, and you got everything. That's the difference with cube and rollup. MySQL does not support cube, so you have to do union all for this one. So the idea is not using union all. So, and then the last one in PostgreSQL is grouping by, I don't know, group by grouping sets. So group by grouping sets is the same thing as ROLLUP and Q, but the difference is you can choose how you want the breakdown. That's the differences. So basically that's it. We go back to MySQL. So I mostly use MySQL on a daily basis. So this is it. Another thing I want to mention, since we're talking about a year to year program. So let's say we are doing a quick a long data, we can use a user variable or user variables. What is it? Is like a parameter. You can use the @ symbol, and then you use any name, year, let's say year date, and we have to set it. So what you do, you set it, and the same name has to be the same name. You set it, year date. Oh, careful here. We got the two @ symbol. When you got two @ symbol in MySQL, that's mean you're using like a generic program interface program variables. When you use one @ symbol, that's a user interface variables. You see, that's when you set up yourself. So that's why it's only once. And then we call it 2007. Again, I'm keep on using those backstick and those apostrophes. No, not apostrophes, whatever the name, I forgot. I keep on using them, but there's no need to use it. But the first thing you do, you have to run it first. That's what we can run in 2008. You have to run it first, and then you can run your program. That way, if you have a long program where you have to change date or any variables you want to, you don't have to do that. And if you have some interface, some portal interface where some user can go in. So when you use the @ symbol, set um, variation variables or interface, he give them the option to just choose the day they want to, and then that's it. But this is MySQL. For Postgres, it's a bit different. So Postgres, you have to MySQL, you simple. That's why I use it in MySQL, because it's simple. But in Postgres, you have to set session, and then you have to use it. It's the same thing in MySQL. All the time the session is on, it will, or you can use it, can we use it all the time the session on, but only for the session. So you have to set session as you did, and then you have to call it on the session and your code and Postgres. And if I'm doing in Postgres, obviously I won't do this because like that's too much to do. I won't do this in Postgres, mostly in SQL and MySQL. But if I have to do it in Postgres, I'll use a CTE. So I will do like a CTE with constant any name you want to. As let's say then you, and within the CTE you have to set the value, whatever you want. You can select let's select 2008 or whatever as date. You have to it's kind of, Postgres is different, so you have to be more careful with Postgres because you have to select the format. This is a date, so we use date, and then we do the query as usual. You do the query, select from where, and on the where clause you use the date variable you set up. So too much to do in Postgres. I won't do it. I'm barely doing it in Postgres, but in MySQL, definitely, because it's simple. The idea is make it simple when you have large queries, different CTEs in a function, and then you have to go ahead and change variables anytime you want to run your query, so it's easier to reuse that way. Pretty much that's it, guys. If you have any question, anything, not just question, any comment, I want you to share this with other people, and that's it.